This is the red line. India is said to be a world powerhouse, on track to take the #1 slot in population and top 3 slot in economic power by 2050. For many in their neighbourhood, however, India's gain is their loss, and they will be working hard to counteract India's dramatic rise. But that raises the question, out of all these powers, who will be India's main strategic rival going forward? Well, any map can tell you who India's biggest geopolitical contenders are: China and Pakistan. India and Pakistan have been significant adversaries for many decades, in a conflict that stems from not only religious and cultural differences, but also from bitter scars inflicted by years of fighting. The two countries have been at war on 4 separate occasions, with thousands of casualties on each side. Civilians on both sides house deep mistrust for one another, and even today there is still frequent skirmishes and violence along the 3,500 kilometre border they share. Both countries are seeking to pull ahead of each other. This includes supporting separatist movements, anti-government factions, and extremist groups in each other's countries. From Islamabad, there is a strong focus on doing so in Kashmir, and in New Delhi, they focus their influence on the Baluch and Pashtun areas of Pakistan. Each are trying to destabilise each other's government and undermine their central authority. India even goes as far as to support groups in Afghanistan who seek territory and conflict with Pakistan, forcing Islamabad to spread its troops across 2 fronts. The crucial factor in this region, however, is that as of 1974 for India and 1998 for Pakistan, the conflict could become nuclear. While cooler heads may prevail for now, the proximity of India's front lines to all of Pakistan's major cities means that if something were to happen, Pakistan would have very little time to work with. Indian troops and tanks are stationed only 170 kilometres to the southeast of Karachi, 15 kilometres to the east of Lahore, and 87 kilometres east of Islamabad. If Indian forces were to invade Pakistan, Islamabad may only have a few short hours to decide whether to use their nuclear weapons or lose their nuclear weapons. Saying that though, India's bigger and potentially even more existential threat more likely comes from the other side of the Himalayas: China. The Chinese military is immense, with a yearly budget of $261 billion, dwarfing India's $71 billion. The Chinese have more modern fighter planes, better advanced troops, and more top-of-the-line equipment. But how much difference these will make is an open question, when the terrain is the immense Himalayan mountain range. Any Chinese offensive against India would be limited to a small handful of tight mountain passes, where one broken down tank could create a traffic jam full of potential bombing targets for the Indian Air Force. With this in mind, China has pursued several other avenues for damaging India. First, economically, with China pursuing policies that undermine Indian manufacturing, having CCP-controlled companies buying controlling stakes of Indian industries, and engaging in market manipulation to exclude Indian companies from other markets. China has also been involved in the politics of all of India's neighbours, supporting anti-India groups in parties like Iran, Pakistan, Nepal, Bhutan, Bangladesh, and Myanmar. On top of this, water has also been a point of contention between these two nations, with China damming crucial Indian waterways that originate in Chinese-controlled Tibet. And these are all issues India will have to contend with to prevent domestic fracturing and civil unrest. A tall order for a country made up of 216 languages, 645 tribes, 2,000 plus ethnic groups, and 1.1 billion people. In recent years, India has been signalling to the world they intend to take the threat of China far more seriously, pursuing relationships throughout the Asia-Pacific. This has taken the form of closer cooperation with the United States, Japan, and Australia, the Quad. And although the Quad officially remains only a strategic dialogue, all 4 parties have been looking at the possibility that deeper cooperation presents, economically, militarily, and diplomatically, increasing the tension already rife on the Indian subcontinent. For a full discussion about the Quad and all the other issues discussed in this video, you can check out our full 90-minute piece with Swaminathan Aiyar, Dhruva Jaishankar and Harsh v Pant by clicking here. Until then, thank you.